Hi. I was just reading some text messages and also some messages from the cult leader. I'll read a few of these and you tell me if you think this is someone that sounds like a I'll let you judge for yourself. I try not to, but I definitely am guilty of this, of say this is a whack, this is a nut, whatever it is. So I'll let you decide whether how you feel about someone that posts things like this. This is the leader named Broke. That's another name I'm using. If you DM me, I will tell you everyone's name. If you'd like to be warned, send me a direct message if you want to know and check this out for yourself. It's post after post after post. I had some of them printed out here. And in all of them, she's mostly naked, a woman in her 50s, these vanity poses. Here's one that she's dressed in, looks like OnlyFans. She's on her back with her legs. I can show it to you if you're watching. Yeah, I mean, straps, and she looks like she's in an orgasm right here. And she talks about her own life. And that's fine if you're not trying to recruit others to feel like you feel. And that's what she does. She says, I'm shocked that 80% of moms I speak to are still in marriages they really don't want to be in, and due to money and feeling they have no other choice but to stay. 80%. Where did that number come from? I'd love to know where the data comes from. Taboo. She just talks about the first time I was suspicious. I've always been suspicious of her. But the first time I really wondered whatever happened to my wife at the time, we're calling Lotus here, was when they rehearsed to do this dance for the freedopreneurs and one of their multi-level marketing, which I still think they're in. I still think this is one that's stuck. It's a water system. And I think that's what they were there for. I can't remember, but they learned this dance together, all these mamas and just, this whole feminine power and things like that. And this is an expression of it. I get it. And I endorsed it and supported it and watched the kids when she was away in Australia. She went away to Australia. And the first thing that Broke does is she posts how proud she was to have a one night stand. She snuck out of the hotel, and I'm going, ooh, she's there with my wife. And this is like my wife's leader. So what's this about? And endorsing, cheating and saying the kids are resilient and it's okay. And it just kept on continuing, the sharing of orgasms. And she says, I went to Bali and ended up meeting an Italian who barely spoke any English, but was fully versed in the language of domination and submission, something I knew absolutely nothing, in all caps. She does a lot of caps and all these things. Nothing about this hardcore feminist ended up in an experience I could not have imagined in my wildest dreams, exclamation point. My body started to open and heal in ways I never knew possible. A book is coming out about these 3 weeks because holy shitballs, it was massive and rocking, all rolled into one. I came home for these 30 days on my own. I moved out of my house. Crystal clear that this was time for me, capitals, in a whole new way. I let my children stay with their dad, and I moved into a studio for 6 months, still being with my kids every day I could on my crazy schedule. She decides for other people that they should do these same things, that they don't have this freedom. Talking about orgasms matter, dear mamas. It matters, dear mamas. I only wish I learned this sooner. Fascinating, right? I have effing mastered my receiving skills, and now I see that me asking, I am actually giving my king a chance to show up and provide for me. Chance for him to earn points in quotes. Yes, this is how they operate the point system. Ask them if you don't believe me. It's a win-win for both. It's super fun, playful, and opens up some juicy, rich conversations. Now there's photos of the guy she meets. We're going to call him Rundle. Oh, meet Rundle. There's a photo of him. So suddenly she's off of this thing, and now we've got to follow her doing this, that she's got found this guy with BDSM and orgasm. Now she's in the orgasm business. And by the way, when I'm reading all these things with her and these photos of her in sexual positions and getting an orgasm during the photo. So, in every single post, there was my wife. Like. This sounds amazing. And, have you ever thought of setting up a contract, in quotes, for your relationship? We've been playing with this and adding to ours. Everything's about her. We started learning about BDSM. BDSM, if you don't know, is bondage, sadomasochism, where she poses with whips and so forth and talks about domination. And here's the thing. This is how she's so selfish, and so are her pupils, that they don't consider other people, like the children. She convinced my ex-wife, Lotus, the children are resilient. They'll be fine. And here's something that she defended, by the way, because I watch people go. I'm going to read some notes that other people have said to her and my ex or wrote to me, where they're blowing back against this, but she's so full of herself that there's nothing that's going to knock her off of this arrogance. Moms are not tapped into their sexuality, that so few couples I know are having mind-blowing connected sex. So you're having sex and connected sex for a little while. 10 years from now, is that the case? Is it really worth blowing up marriages and blowing up families where children now have separate homes that they have to go back and forth? Is any of that considered when you're talking about, come on, mamas, follow me? Follow me. Look, here's the thing, broke. If you're listening, and I know you're not, because I have found her and her boyfriend, Rundle, to be cowards. I've challenged them to talk to my children. Talk to the people that you most affected. So by her sharing this and really having pontification after pontification of, here's the way it is, mamas, follow me. She says, this is a movement with all capitals. It's a movement. It's a bowel movement because you're full of shit. You're full of shit. There's nothing sustainable about this. And why do you have to get out there and brag? Why do you have to tell the world about your sex life? If you're really happy, there's no way you need to do that. And here's the thing that she selfishly doesn't understand, and neither does my ex-wife. When you share these things, the children are watching. They're too young. Children are on the internet. And not only that, their peers are. And here you are in your OnlyFans outfits, talking about orgasms. Like I said before, there's a if you want to look at it, there's a movie, a documentary called Orgasm Inc. It's a cult all about orgasm and freedom and all that kind of stuff. And here's what I want to say to anyone listening, including those two. Where's the part about honoring commitments? Where's the part about through thick and thin, through sickness and in health? Where is that in this? Following you, who have decided this is the way to live your life. Don't honor your vows. Go cheat and brag about your cheating on the internet for your children to read for forever. It's there. It's still there if you want to go read it. all of these adventures that she has and being dominated in other parts of the world and opening herself up, her vessel, and her filling her, you know, has to describe it like it's a Harlequin romance. A Harlequin romance is actually, it's okay because it's not real people. This is real people that are affecting others, like my former wife, who jumped right in on this. Let's say she was feeling any of those feelings. She's feeling difficult times and maybe falling out of love or, not finding me attractive, whatever it is. Here's the difference. You work on it. You do whatever it takes to be of service to your family. Now, if this is a terrible situation with like abuse and so on, yeah, get out. Not the case. The only abuse is happening from her. These are abuses. Abuses of power, taking over, dominating, controlling, violence, temper tantrums, all of those things, stealing, deceit. These are all the directions as opposed to let me work on myself. It's the biggest thing we can do. That's the thing that we can do. We can't blame. You can't continue to blame. She's blaming her ex-husband, this woman. My ex-wife blames me instead of saying, hey, I am accountable. I'm responsible. I have to do everything in my power first, exercise all options. And this is not one of the options, by the way, to air the dirty laundry about her ex-husband. I mean, it's just awful. I mean, it's humiliating for him, the father of her children. I'm the father of Lotus's children. Doesn't stop her. Nothing does. No conscience. This selfishness, this ego, this narcissism. People overuse the word narcissism. I get it, but this is beyond. I could just read on and you'll hear this. And 99% of you are going to go, wow, that's who she followed? There's nothing in history that proves any of this. It's her and her ego coming up with this system of free love or whatever it is. You brought 2 children into the world. So I always say to Lotus, what message are you sending them? Do you want our little girl to go down this method of sadomasochism and go get free orgasms and so on? Or would you like the children to show respect for their spouse? Show through example. The disrespect that she shows is beyond, I mean, and both kids, I could bring them in here right now and they're say it to anybody. They have watched this reprehensible behavior from their mom towards their dad. Undeserved, not perfect, but nowhere near deserving of this treatment. And only somebody programmed would do something like this because this is not the way she was before. Is that what freedom is? Is freedom just, okay, I'll just attack an illusionary enemy, make an enemy out of that person so I feel good and justified? My son, oh, just the most sensitive, not in a, in Philly, that's not a good word. He's in tune and he feels. And he has cried to her. And one time he was crawled up in her arms, as he told me. And she starts going on about me. And it's just lies. And he knows that they're lies. He lives this life. He watches who dad is, the character that I am. But that doesn't mean anything when peers get together, when her women's groups get together. They're just going to listen to one side of the story without feedback. That's the way it is. No one's going to challenge her, and then she finds people that won't challenge her. I'll tell you, that's one good thing about, I'll seek it. I mean, I got coaches, and I will seek being challenged, including this. I run this by people, they say, don't be bitter, don't be resentful, to be, all that stuff. I get it. I'll keep challenging myself, but I'm also going to keep going. with this. I think this needs to be said because, as I said in a previous episode with this woman who was talking about this MLM, multi level marketing pyramid cults that go into fake spirituality and all that kind of stuff, coaching. I was made. I'll call myself on this. Someone said, "Well, you're a coach too." So anyway, yeah, I'm a hypocrite. I will defend it. I'm going to defend it right now. My coaching comes from experience and it comes from success. I've had a tremendous amount of success and I come from nothing. So if people want that story and they want that coaching of someone who's actually been in the major leagues for a very long time at a high level, then they'll come to me for the coaching. This is part of what I do too, is the processing, the being honest with myself and others. There's a whole process that I take people through in my coaching. And there's just a ton of education, higher education, all of it. But these coaches have no experience. This woman has made herself into this guru that she can just keep on pontificating with these words. I realize one of my children to see me happy and care for them, and I need my feminine needs taken care of. All of this, the data, what women are going through, all of this is just coming from someone who, in the moment, this is how she's feeling. It doesn't mean it's anything that will be everlasting. Like a marriage where you stay with the vows and commit. I had said to my ex-wife many times, let's go away. I'll pay for anything. Let's go away. Let's go on dates. Let's try everything. You exhaust all of it before you blow up a family of which you committed. You made love with your husband or your wife. You had a sacred pact. And I'm not saying you need to get out. I mean, my first marriage, damn, needed to get out. That was really, really, really toxic. There was no way out of that one. And I exhausted everything on that. As a matter of fact, the irony is I met this wife, this last wife, I met her in the Agape Spiritual Center, trying to look at myself and what spiritual uplifting tactics, whatever it is, how can I recondition myself so I can be present in that marriage and make that marriage work? So I really did exhaust something for many other reasons, was never going to work. This one, apparently, there's one of two things. She was fooling me the entire time, and that's really insidious. Or this woman came in, the cult leader, and just took her away at a vulnerable spot. Speaking of vulnerability, so the children are really, really upset with their mom that this was their decision. And I'll bet if I talk to Broke's kids, it's the same thing. I'm positive. The one was beaten up by her boyfriend. I mean, really. And I happen to know, because I have an investigator, I happen to know that they're really unhappy. But Broke would never show you that. She's going to twist and propaganda, whatever it is. That's what they do. My ex-wife does it too. So here I am. Look how happy we are. Let me show you us running out of the water hand in hand. Let's show these smiles of all these thousands of people who are with for these conventions, for the multi-level marketing. Let's just let's whistle in the dark here when it's dark. You're dark. No character. Nothing that you really can say. I have integrity. I back up my word. I can't believe sometimes how far she has fallen. It's the saddest thing I've ever seen. I go through anger, I go through grief, I go through all the stages a lot. I just heard today she talked about conscious uncoupling. That's another word. I mean, folks, don't believe these words. So many of them are just full of it. They say this. It's a circle jerk. I've been at the top of this thing, but I'm in some organizations or was. I just went, oh, phony, 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 phony. Real is, can you go through your obstacles? Can you go through your fears, your difficulties, your addictions? Can you go through it with courage and conviction? Can you? If I'm proud of anything in my life, it's that. Still standing. I was going to promote my podcast called Still Standing Up. So, yeah, I'm still standing. Still standing up too. Standing up doing comedy, which is a great cathartic experience. But I cannot believe some of the roads, and places that she's taken, and taken all of us with her with nothing, no pause whatsoever. So we had it's funny, I was thinking about it today, about what I was going to talk about. So I did what a couple years ago, I did like over a year and a half, I did an intervention. I thought that might work. And the person I went through was an old friend of hers, because no one else is she going to meet with. So she's going to meet with this friend of hers. Now, here we go again, Craig, painting red flags green. This woman is red flags like Les Miserables with that big red flag. Attend the barricade. This one is the reddest flag of all. I remember when we met her that she was going to kill her son. I mean, she just, her baby, she's going to drown him. I mean, this was Lotus's like one of her best friends. And I remember going, oh my God, in a way, she raised her son to hate the husband who moved to Israel. No wonder he got the hell out, started a whole other family, but she really hurt this child's relationship with the father. Another one. And I didn't see it because I was so desperate to have an intervention. I thought, oh, she'll trust her. And she supposedly is in this business of, I don't even know what it was called. It was they just have names and, family units. And so listen to this. So, she says, I'll charge you like $5,000. No, I'm not charging the kind of money. First of all, this is your best friend who's in a cult. And I want you to come out here from Rochester and come out and deal with her direct and talk to her direct. That's why I thought she had the skills, because she said she did, because she took these courses or whatever it was. Don't believe people if they say they take these courses that you know nothing about. I shouldn't say don't believe them, but a lot of times you might want to just unpeel that onion a little more. And I didn't do that. I paint the red flags green. So I fly her out. I agree to pay for blah, 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 including take the kids to a Lego store so we can sit in my living room with my ex-wife and the kids and build Legos of what the family looks like. I mean, it was okay. I just went along with it. So we then walk to the park, and these kids, I don't want to cry, but I was I was so proud of them, what they did, the courage they mustered up. And if I teach anything to these children, that's what I want to teach. Be brave. And they did, especially my son. My daughter, was 8 at the time. She can't really express herself as much, but she still did. But he got in there. He told his mom with tears what he witnessed, her violence, her temper tantrums, her leaving the family to spend hours and hours upon hours, leaving the family that we committed to having a family, to go be with this leader that she's been just following like a follower. And he told her this in tears. He broke down. I said, that a boy. That a boy. You just expressed your truth of what he witnessed. He watched her attack me physically. He watches her run out of rooms I remember one time I was trying to talk to her and she just ran down to 7-Eleven, and we just walked along with her, and she can put this face on and just completely disassociate, completely ignore. And I'm just saying, please just stop. Just have a conversation. That's simple. I whisper it. She treats it like an abuser. And back to the story really quick. He was in her lap with this other woman who I thought would be brave as well, who I really admire. Always loved her friend. I'll call her. Let me see. I come up with these names that are close, but they're not it. I'll call her Mulvey. Mulvey, I love because she's sober. She's been through a lot herself. And she, by the way, has stuck it out with her family. Stuck it out, committed to her sobriety. I admire someone like that. Sobriety means you're looking inside of yourself. You're doing your own inventory. You're having the courage to change the things you can, the wisdom to know the difference. All those things happen if you're working a program of recovery from the way you were. So I always admired Mulvey. I always loved Mulvey. It was one of the friends that I really like. She didn't have resentment and anger towards me. She wasn't shutting me down and all that kind of stuff. But so my son was at her house, and my ex was so disassociated, she didn't realize right in front of him she's saying about my abuse. And of course, Mulvey's not going to think anything else, but oh, that's the truth because it's coming from my best friend, one of my best friends. And that's the thing, folks. I know we don't want to believe that we are with a liar. We don't want to believe it. I get it. It's how lies exist, because you just go into denial and then you defend that person. Get angry at the person that's saying they're a liar. That happen all the time. People are offended by me. They'll call me an isted or a phobe or whatever it is because I'm saying it's a lie. Nope. So Mulvey, I've reached out to her a few times. Nope, not going to happen. And he said, "Stop it, mommy. Stop it." She spreads these rumors, and a lot of these parents won't let their kids be with my kids. This is the effect that she has on the children. This is why the broke types, this is where the leadership goes. Is you become that family, that whack family. Oh, he's the abuse. Oh my God, stay away from him. So the kids can't play. This is what she prevents them from having true freedom and happiness. Ironically, that's what broke teaches, allegedly, freedom. So now you jailed the kids from these rumors, from treating their father like this, from the disrespect, the disdain, the deceit, all of those things that happen. That's what they see. That's no way to live. That's not freedom. Now they have to question everything. The dad we love, geez, we have such respect for him. We've watched this guy go through hell and also just be there for us and supportive and keeps us in this neighborhood, in this beautiful neighborhood. This guy coaches our teams and everything else. This is what we see. She's saying something different. Imagine that, to do that to a child. So here we are in the park with this friend of hers. I flew out from Rochester that's allegedly qualified, paying her way and everything else. She said, "Oh, it was meant to be. I was going to come out anyway and be with her." So basically, I paid for her to be with her friend, and she double-crossed me. She witnessed the following. The kid said the truth. It wasn't one word about me, and you will never get a word about me out of them. It has nothing to do with my programming. It has nothing to do with me saying anything to them. It's just what they witness. They have witnessed constant violence from their mom, blowing up the family for no reason. She didn't work anything out. She did so many things. She just put her power all into this woman, broke, doesn't make a dime from these schemes, which are ever changing. They've watched all of this. They watched it all. They witnessed it. They just bear witness to it. So this is what he told her. He said, "Mommy, you're just not the same." Tells us to his sister, "Not the same since you met Broke." He's trying to say to her, step away. Leave her and come to us. Because we brought them in to this world with prayer. I believed we were. I believed it was a spiritual intervention. I believed in my wife. I gave everything I could. Love-wise, I just was dedicated to this. Even though a lot of times it was coming back cut off. And she said, "Go have sex with anyone you want because I'm not going to have it with," all that. some tough times. I'm going, no, 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 come on, it'll work out because she'll shift into consciousness. She'll shift back to God and consciousness and higher source. She'll shift back in there sometime. We can keep praying for that to happen. The opposite happened. I watched something. She's done this before. It looks demonic, like there's a demon inside of her. And this is what worries me, that she can access this dark, really dark. I've seen people freak out before, fight, whatever it is. It was rumbling almost inside of her. Oh my God, she's having an exorcism. I really thought that. I thought there was an exorcism. I thought, this is it. We did it. We hit her bottom. She's going to let this go. She just started stamping up and down, stamping. We all got scared. No, he did this to you. No, no. Oh my God. Screaming at these kids who are just vulnerable with her. They just told her the truth. That, Mommy, please stop. Please get to love. Please get to, a connection. They weren't using those words, but this is what they were saying essentially is, please come back. Leave this selfishness, this greed, this terrible way that she has taken this road of, like I was just reading these notes, it's all about broke. It's all about her not considering the children. Children first for me. People will tell you this till the cows come home. I am not a selfish guy. I'm about other people's happiness is my happiness. That's why I make people laugh on stage. It used to be selfish. I get the waitress's phone number and all that kind of stuff. And I would get attention, all those things. Yes, I initially was there. Now, I get amazing seats and tickets and things. And all I do is just bring others and watch the smiles on their faces. That's how I live. I love to watch my ex-wife be happy, smile and laugh and experience all these things, which we did until the very end. Just this huge road trip with everybody. Was it a ruse? Well, that one was, because of what she was planning. Screams up and down. And the other fraud, what are we calling her? We'll call her Lysol. Trying to come close to the names so I can remember. Lysol takes her away and just hugs her and just, like tries to comfort her and take her down from this. It seemed literally like somebody told me it's the Jezebel spirit or whatever it is. There's something so dark and sinister in her. This beautiful person has just given into this dark side. I compare it to Anakin Skywalker. We watched the movie Star Wars and you go, what the hell? You're going to end up that? And what I try to say to her is, here's your family. Like Luke, like Leia, here's your family. We're here. We love you. And I don't want her to live her life where at the very end, her last breath, she finally gets it. Think about that. That's how the righteous are. Such a mythological, beautiful story. And I don't know, beautiful, but it hits home. The whole Star Wars thing. By the way, we all love Star Wars. Me and the kids watch them all. And they can see the similarities. They've watched, Mom is Darth Vader now. And she's good to them and everything else. And it's not like every day they're suffering, whatever it is. But they tell me all the time, we'd much rather be with you, Dad. And I'm not telling them anything. They're just observing. She's gone. Now she's got another, she's a boyfriend. I don't know what's going on with that. She said it would be a conscious uncoupling. We wouldn't introduce him to, but no, they know his name. They know all his kids' names and everything else. Another violation. And she just can't keep her word. And I keep saying, why do you want to do this to the children? Why do you want to send this message to them? We had a wonderful relationship where we showed them, we did gratitude lists around the table. We did what I love about you around the table, all these beautiful, uplifting things that broke when she's talking about these broken marriages or whatever it is, she's not asking what we really do or how it really exists. She's assuming that everybody's like her in a loveless, sexless marriage, whatever it is. So that's you. You do everything you can to make something work. And I'm talking about work, whatever it is. Whatever you're committed to, you remain committed as much as you can. This was not even, she treated this breakup like a pop in a pimple. It's not easy. Phew. I don't know how much time I've been here because I have to watch my time here. I want to tease the next scenario, what happened. Big surprise. Oh, I forgot to tell you, Lysol does a write-up. Completely lies. Just the whole opposite of what happened. My children were shocked by this write-up, but she did it for her friend. So much so that I threatened her. I said, I'm gonna have you, I'm gonna spread the word about you. You're a fraud. Then I found out, by the way, I did a little dive. Big problems with her son. She's a bad news person too, and just comes across, watch, here's the impression. Oh, let's get some Legos and let's play with the Legos, and this is what we do. Yeah, she literally talks like that. And I found out she's another fraud. I knew it already, but I'm just going into denial. I go into denial so much, including my ex. I just kept thinking, maybe even still think that she'll snap out of it and become who she really is again. I don't know. I want you to know the power, though, the power of a cult leader is this strong. That someone can end up, I watched the documentaries. I watched my father was a cult leader. Some of the memories I have of him and his Pocono adventures on mules, and he had a harem of women. I don't know if I said this before, pardon me if I repeat it, but I was doing a show in the Poconos. This is the blue collar honeymoon capital of the Northeast. It's the tackiest place you've ever seen. This guy's giving me a tour of it. They hired me, and I'm the big guy from Hollywood. They have no idea I'm from Pennsylvania originally or anything like that. Send a limo at the airport, and there I am. And the guy's giving me, he's got this accent from Shamokin. He goes, oh, Craig, let me show you the place here. I'll never forget these words when he says this. And I hadn't seen my dad in a long time. He's in and out of my life, entrepreneur. Here's this one out loud, just like Lotus. Here were his multi-level marketing. He had bras that he had my mom invite her big-breasted friends over. Only the big-breasted ones, he said. If she wants her, Barbara, you want your child support check? Invite your friends over. I'm selling bras. Bras meets Amway, multi-level marketing with bras. I hadn't seen him in years. I poke my head in the living room. There he is, smoking a pipe with my Aunt Barbara, Aunt Dottie, Aunt Fran in bras. Go ahead, Dottie. Turn around. Show how it lifts and separates. This is the three-clasp model for the full-figured woman. Don't be shy. Just you women and me. That was my dad. Converted cesspools to sewers. I caught a shark one year. Next thing I know, he buys these landing crafts, those things from Normandy. He got them for $1. Just repair the bullet holes. We'll make shark boats. And then, he was Fuller brushes and so many things. Vitamins. First guy who sell vitamins. And then he got into mules. This whole mule excursion thing. And then he has another idea. He goes, you know, the whitewater people, when they're done, they got no way home. We go pick them up, paddles and saddles. Pretty clever, actually. Sometimes, by the way, the multi-level marketing people, it's clever, and you buy into it because they got a good pitch. Old Broke's got some good pitches going on that people fall for, but you have to go beneath. You have to. She literally has a photo, a few of them, where she's covered in money and bills. It's for the photo. It's a photo, folks. You really think she's has a bed of bills? That's the illusion. That's what she created for my ex-wife. You can have freedom, with this guy for all these years. Go get another guy, go get dominated, and have sadomasochism, go get beaten, sadomasochism or whatever they're doing, BDSM and all this. Go, come this whole other way. You don't want to be settling into that. No, look at me, I'm free. I'm going to brag about this and all these posts bragging about all of my orgasms, and you can have it too. You can have this freedom, mamas. Get your sovereign freedom. Get out of your golden cage. Here's the second. She says, more trust in our relationships means the more orgasms. That's what Broke says. And the next person commenting is Lotus saying, this is going to be amazing, with a lot of exclamation points. Amazing. Make your marriage amazing. That's the choice you have. You, if you're in a relationship, make it as good as you can. That's my tip. Do whatever you can do to go past your discomfort, your fears. Find out what it is you loved about that person to begin with. Don't follow someone else because they've got problems. They're just projecting. They can't look at themselves. They're deflecting and projecting. They're not reflecting upon themselves on what else they can do to find their mate attractive again. It happens. But I was just told a statistic about 70% of marriages, they fail because of the woman is the one that breaks it up. The woman who's over 40. What happens over 40? This is a statistic. It's all proven. Have chemical changes, hormonal changes. So it's not even that person who's reacting. So the idea is to take care of that as much as possible. Men too. Whatever you're going through, you go through anger, resentment, that's only going to kill you. But when you're projecting and put it onto someone else, it doesn't serve any purpose. And the children are watching. They're also going to watch if you grow and transform and work on yourself. I offered her to go to Byron Katie, and I paid for this other thing called MITT, something that I had taken before. These are courses, Landmark Forum. Yes, I support all of those things. And she goes in there, and she has other people, you're the greatest. And there we go again, more wellness grifters. Here we go. You're so incredible, Lotus. Oh, and then all about her being a coach. It's all vanity, all ego. That's running the show. I like to say, in my coaching program, so I like to say, ego is evading growth opportunity. Evading your own growth opportunity. So where can you grow? So this is a little message-oriented, this podcast. It's also a warning. It's an expression of sadness, maybe for you as well. Maybe you're going through something. I will get to some of the other details, but I would like to conclude by saying, no matter what, there is hope. No matter what, there is faith, access to faith in the highest source, whatever you want to call it, Jesus Christ, God, Buddha, Allah, it doesn't matter. What serves you and your higher purpose is this magnificence that exists inside of you. Every single one of you has this. I don't care how bad you think someone is, they still have it. This beautiful, beautiful potency, this beautiful essence, this light, this love, light, and levity. That's who we are. And then we have departures from it. So I'm disappointed at her friends and her family. I've reached out to them and they just think that I'm just some, bitter ex. It's not that. I feel horrible for this road that she took. And I feel terrible that another husband reached out to me and this Broke did it to that wife as well. Not the first time she's done this, not the last. This is what her thing is. We have a mob. That's what she says. It's a mob. Misery loves company, everybody. Just understand that. These leaders need company. They go for vulnerable people. Just look up how cults operate. My father operated like that. They make sure that they're needed. This guy's giving me a tour of the place in the Poconos. He goes, oh, over here, Craig, you got your racquetball. Here you got your quoits. You know what quoits are? He goes, here's the line. Oh my gosh, there's AJ Shoemaker and his harem. What's that nut doing here? I was like, whoa. And I got to say these words, that's my dad. There he was, the city guy. All of a sudden, he's mountain man. Again, phony. Ego. Selfish. Guy never gave me a gift his entire life as my father, except he gave me the gift of leaving because I got to be connected with my true father inside of me. That's what I encourage you to do. Connect with your true mother, your true father inside of you. They never leave. That's the opportunity he gave me. Evading growth opportunity. So don't let my ego run the show. And there he was, showed up on my show that night. He signed people up for mule rides. Tell him who taught you everything you know. Then we knocks on my door the next day. There he is with part of his harem. Took my cheese tray, my complimentary cheese tray for the celebrity. Oh, take this to the girls at the ranch. Oh, Judy loves Gouda. Takes my cheese tray, signs people up like we're some happy family. All what it looks like to the ego people, to the selfish, that's what Lotus has become and justifies these actions, this terrible behavior. Conscious uncoupling. We won't use lawyers. She's on her second lawyer. They attack. They take money. She steals money, no matter what I say. Lies about her finances. And here's what I want you to know. If you're going to get involved in business with her, I'll tell you what the numbers are that she writes down so she gets more support from me. By the way, isn't that a great system that we're under? I have to pay her for forever. And the kids, support the kids, which they eat top ramen. I got, thousands of dollars. This is what she did. First, when she left, I'll get to that. Terrible. It's all terrible tragedy, sad story. Maybe something will come out of it. I do have hope. It's always good to have that. My buddy had brain cancer. My buddy Michael Golds, they gave him 3 months to live. That's when I started this Laughter Heals program. He showed up for all of it, all the prescriptions, and he definitely did all the other stuff with the chemo, whatever. He had hope. He had hope. Laughter led to hope, joy, fulfillment. His daughter wanted to live for his daughter. He lived 15 years past that prognosis. He had hope. And I have hope no matter what, no matter even if she continues to go down this slide. And there's more, by the way. There's more. So just keep self-examining. I'm going to keep doing that. I have an appointment tomorrow morning with another coach. So I sound nuts too. People that uplift me. That's what I need. I want to stay in that high vibration. And the kids are so happy in this house. They tell their mom too. I cannot believe that she would live a life where they tell her flat out, we'd rather be with dad. She doesn't care. Just doesn't care. She does whatever she wants. I'm just one of those things. Yeah, you just go, I don't get it. How someone can take that dark road. But maybe there's hope. She finds help. And her friends. Be a friend. Be a friend and ask her the truth. And go to the kids first if you want to know the truth, who have witnessed all of it. I'm going to tell you right now, and I'll read some of these text messages just Rundle threatened me with. Nothing is true on my end with abuse. The other ex tried it. It's not true. And I'll take lie detector tests, have the kids speak. They have seen it all. Violence only on one person. This innocent Lotus with a flower name now. and this business that's about empowerment, femininity, wellness, and health and love. Love wins. Love does win. It's hateful. She took a road of hate. It's cruel. It's cruel to do to me, to the children. It's cruel for the children to witness this, and you don't stop. Not even a pause. No apology. She's not afraid of me. The night she called and said, come over, make love to her. She cried her eyes out, and we did. No fear. It's a lie. No fear of me. She has fear of the truth. Some people have fear of the truth. Remember that. Be who you are. I'm going to keep being who I am. The truth does set you free. This woman's in a prison of her own making. The children, they hurt from it. They're doing fine. We still have lots of laughs. But they also have that sadness that they will carry with them the rest of their lives, because they'll wonder why in the world. I said to them, I said, what are you going to tell your spouses someday on the reason your parents broke up? Lots of parents should break up. We've heard that a million. Oh, my parents should have been divorced years before that. They stayed married because of us. Yeah, I get it. Yes, it happens all the time. But I guarantee also those parents aren't working that hard on themselves. I guarantee you that. Because you really shouldn't fight to that level. Have the children see that. You really should work on yourself so you don't have that frequency within you that you would allow you to stay in resentment, stay in your rage and misplaced rage and put it on them. Yes, you're not working on yourself. I guarantee if I work on myself, that doesn't manifest. And I have snapped. That's for damn sure. At a certain point, I've snapped. It's been really debilitating sometimes, paralyzing. So why would somebody do this? Betrayal to the ultimate. I'm going to talk about that. Write that down. Betrayal is a theme in my life. I don't like it. But it's like something I've got to live through and understand and free myself. All right. Anyway, more in store. And I hope you're enjoying this. I don't know if you're enjoying it, but you might be intrigued. I don't know if it's inspiring, but it could be engaging. I stay out of the results. 3 people could end up listening to this, and it's okay. But I hope you stay with me to the next one. How about that? All right. Have a good one.